Hey Meta, start filming. Everyone's calling these pervert glasses. And in all honesty, I totally understand why. But what if the thing everyone hates about Meta glasses is exactly what makes them the best portrait camera ever? It's contentious, but I've been taking portraits for about 40 years. Magazines, books, advertising. In that time, I've shot some of the most famous people that you can think of. The first proper camera I owned was an SLR, a Minolta SRT 100X. I wanted to be like my school friend Mark, who'd also just bought a camera. As well as it being a nice object that felt good in my hands, it was also a way of signalling I was different, a bit creative. Maybe it said something about the identity we were trying to forge as teenagers. And since then, I've been very lucky. I've photographed people on just about every kind of system imaginable. Rolleiflex, Hasselblad, Pentax 6.7, Fuji rangefinders, a Linhof Technica 5.4, Leica, Nikon, Canon, Polaroid, Contax and Yashica point and shoots, and of course, lately, pretty much every generation of digital camera. All in the quest for better pictures. But what does that actually mean? Sharper lenses, more megapixels, better autofocus, higher dynamic range? Probably really it just comes down to trying to create a certain indefinable quality that would mark me out as different from the legions of other photographers. But after using these Meta glasses, I found myself wondering something rather uncomfortable. What if this is the biggest breakthrough in portrait photography ever? It might be the closest any camera has ever come to recording what it actually feels like to meet another human being. These glasses raise serious ethical questions. People, I mean mostly men, secretly recording strangers, mostly women, approaching them in cafes or on the street, initiating conversations that the other person doesn't realize are being filmed. I completely understand why people find these videos disturbing. I mean, I find them disturbing. If someone doesn't know they're being recorded, they can't meaningfully consent to it. And that's a real problem. This video is not in any way defending that behavior, but I do think it's worth asking another question. Why are millions of people, often lonely men, watching those clips? Why do they feel so different from footage shot on a hidden GoPro or a phone held at waist height? I think the answer, it tells us something profound about photography. Portrait photography isn't really about capturing the way a person looks. It's about relationships. As I'm constantly saying, every portrait I've ever taken is a record of the relationship I had with another person on that particular day. The camera is simply a device that records it. And that's always been the challenge. Every camera I've ever used has stood between me and the subject, the person I'm trying to connect with. I mean, my favorite camera that I've used over the years, my Hasselblad, is a beautifully engineered machine, but it's also a large black box sitting between two human beings. Even modern mirrorless cameras still create a barrier. The strange thing about these glasses is that they almost disappear. The camera sits beside your eye and not in front of it. The person you're talking to looks directly into your eyes, and the camera sees almost exactly what you're seeing. Now that changes everything. I'm suddenly able to show what it is to be me. Not just portraits, me cycling, me swimming, me playing badminton. And as for shooting people, I'm able to think less about operating the camera and more about having a conversation. As a portrait photographer, that's an extraordinary feeling. When someone looks into the wearer's eyes, they're effectively looking into ours. The perspective is astonishingly intimate. And that's what makes those recordings so compelling, but also paradoxically, that's exactly what makes them feel so intrusive. When I point a camera at somebody, they know what's happening. Even if they don't like it, they understand the transaction. Meta glasses quietly remove that signal, and that's why people feel uneasy. The technology has almost become invisible, and perhaps photography shouldn't be invisible. Maybe the camera isn't just a recording device. Maybe it's a part of the conversation itself, part of the collaborative process. So, in sum, will I replace my camera with Meta glasses? Probably not anytime soon. Not for commissioned portraits when image quality still matters, but they have changed the way I think about portraiture. After 40 years, they've reminded me that photography isn't really about cameras. It's about more human things: attention, presence, curiosity, connection. Those things have always mattered far more than sensors or lenses. Ironically, the camera that gets closest to genuine human connection is also the one that forces us to think hardest about privacy, consent, and trust. And that's the paradox of Meta glasses. So, would you ever wear a pair? It's an easy choice for me. Specs are, through doing this channel, clearly my visual brand now. And I've always found Ray-Ban frames pretty cool. We're not sponsored by either Meta or Ray-Ban, by the way. Let us know what you think. And if you enjoy the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hey Meta, Meta, hey Meta, Meta, stop filming.